This is a demonstration of the installation of the new Lockpick Air. We're in a 2014 Jeep Cherokee. Okay, to begin the installation, what you're going to do is take this bottom panel just below the bezel screen here. Just reach underneath the bottom of it and grab it and pull it free. So this whole unit here is just held in by clips. As you pull it free, it's going to expose two screws right behind it at the bottom of the bezel. Just remove these screws here, and that'll allow the entire assembly just to be pulled free. And I'll demonstrate that. Okay, I've removed the two screws on the bottom corner here, and then you just lift up from that edge and just pop it free from the clips, and this entire bezel will just come right out. And again, you're just going to work your fingers around the edge and pull it free from the clips that are on the back side. You can see them along here. And they just clip in around the edge of the screen. But once you get it started from the bottom, it'll just pop loose, and you can work it around the edge and get it out. That's going to expose the four screws on the screen here. They're just on the corners. We're going to remove those screws to get to the connector in the back of the screen so we can plug in the lockpick harness. Okay, next we have the four screws that have been removed on the outside corners of the screen. That allows the whole screen assembly to just kind of pull forward and tip down. On the back side of it, we have a large connector back here. This is the one that matches to the lockpick harness. We're going to unplug this from the screen, plug it directly into the lockpick harness, then the lockpick harness will then plug back into the screen. It just makes an inline T. To remove this connector, what you're going to do is push in on the end of it here, just kind of squeeze it in. It will click, and then as you pull the tab upwards, the connector itself will rotate out. And I can demonstrate that. It's pretty easy. Like so. And it just lifts out with this little tab up on it and pulls up and out. This is a quick view of the Lockpick Air that we're going to install in this Cherokee 2014. You're going to come with the module. It has a Wi-Fi antenna built into it. There's also straight AV inputs here to connect any kind of accessory device to it. We have another connector here that has AV outputs. You can send this to a second screen or to headrest outputs. You also have multiple inputs for cameras, so you'll have left and right cameras for side turn signals cameras. You also have front and rear cameras on the other side. There's also a connection for a second rear camera that will allow you to put not just one rear camera, but a second one that would show maybe the back side of a trailer or something like that if you're pulling it. And you can set that to be the default camera to see, or you can switch back and forth or view at will. It comes with factory harness connectors. They're going to plug directly into the screen, and then the factory connector is going to plug back into the back side of it here. So it's just very simple plug, and the unit is complete. Also in the harness, there's going to be included extra connections to wire cameras to if you want to, so it'll supply power to your cameras, and you don't have to make any extra connections for that. Here I've plugged in the factory connector to our lockpick harness, and I'm putting the other connector into the radio itself. To install these connectors and to plug it into our harness also, just make sure the tab is up first before you push the connector in. Then what will happen is you start pushing the connector in, the tab will start lowering, and you just lock it in place by pushing it down, and that holds the connector in place, can't be pulled out again. Okay, with the unit installed, I can go through a quick demonstration of it. When you turn the car on, everything's going to operate the same as it did before the lockpick was installed. There'll just be additional features that are added to it. To access those, you can push the steering wheel button, just push the voice recognition button on the steering wheel, hold it down. That'll bring up the lockpick menus, or you can use the remote control that comes with the device, and you can access any of these directly using the remote control. The steering wheel buttons will scroll up and down through the choices that the lockpick will offer. We can go through them real quick here. The override function is just to enable nav input on these vehicles. You have Lockpick Air, which is our Wi-Fi input. There's an aux AV input. Those are standard RCA AV inputs that are available on the box to plug anything into, and you want to display in the front screen. Factory aux is to push the factory audio sound through from the jacks. We have a view cameras button, and say the Lockpick has a lot of different cameras you can connect to it, and I'll go through them real quick. I've selected it here. We have a view rear camera function, so you can automatically view a rear camera whenever the car is put into reverse. If you don't have one, you can add one, or if you already have one in the car, you can view the rear camera. You can also install a second rear camera if you're going to pull a trailer or something like that. You want to have another rear camera that views as your default instead of the one that's on the bumper. You can select that one as well. You can plug in front cameras that'll activate automatically whenever the vehicle is traveling below 7 miles per hour, aids in parking, or you can select anytime you want to, from these menus or from the remote control. You can install left and right side cameras that'll activate automatically with the left and right turn signals, and again you can operate those manually at any time you want to using the remote control or here from the steering wheel control. We have a headrest output that'll send the video outputs that are on the lockpick, send those out to a second screen or to headrest if you would like. Options, this is how you select which ones you want to have automatically come on. So right now we've selected, you can see the little asterisk on the side here, that we have a rear camera selected for automatic operation. We could also make that a second rear camera. We could have front camera, automatically activated and auto turns. You could also set so the headrests will see the cameras that are showing on this front screen as well. Now returning back to the other menu, we have language input now. You can actually select whether you want it to be in English or Spanish. And we also have a last tab here. It's going to give us the hardware number, for the box, and also the software, what current software is in it. These units are updatable, and so you can change the software, and there's new features that we add, or if the vehicles change, we have updates. You can plug in a USB cable and select those. Next, I'll demonstrate the Wi-Fi functions that are built into the Lockpick Air module. I'll just activate the menus again using the steering wheel buttons. I could have used the remote control. I'll select Lockpick Air. That'll bring us to the Wi-Fi input. Right now we're set for DLNA mode, which is the mode that we use for iOS or Apple type devices. So this could be from an iPhone or an iPad, things like that. I'll go to my iPhone itself here. This is just an iPhone 4. And I'll select the mirroring function for it and activate it. So now what will happen is we'll see whatever's on my phone will show up on the screen here. And from there I can select the internet if I want to, or I can go through view the pictures, and here I can stream Netflix through it, all those things, and it'll just come straight to the front screen like that. If I want to get back to and use maybe a Samsung phone or Android type devices, I'll show you how that works in just a second. Okay, next I'll be connecting with a Samsung. This is an S5 in this case here. Previously we were on DLNA. I'm going to switch that over to the Miracast mode. If you use the source button, it's actually on the back side of the steering wheel here. Just press it, and the Lockpick Air will reboot now into Miracast mode. There we go. Okay, the Miracast mode is now waiting for a connection from the Samsung phone. I'll just select screen mirroring. And what it'll do is just connect to the Lockpick Air. Once it makes the connection to it, then we'll have the full mirroring from the Samsung, like so. Now it's just going to display whatever we have on the phone. Again, full internet will play through here. All of your movies and stuff will stream through it. I can play a quick movie on it real quick here. It's a Lego movie, and of course we have audio on the Lockpick Air, so it'll play with full sound.
Step 4, shower. And always be sure to keep this.
All this will work wirelessly. It's easy install, just plug and play. It takes just a few minutes to install it, really simple. And again, no wires, so you can connect wirelessly from your Apple device or your Samsung Android type devices.